Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Joshi and I'm a real estate broker based in Toronto in the GTA. On today's video, we're going to be discussing the March 2023 TRREB market stats. The GTA housing market conditions tightened in March of 2023. Sales accounted for an increased share of listings in comparison to March 2022, suggesting that competition between buyers is on the rise. The average sale price was above the average list price for the first time since May 2022. And you know what that means. In the market, we've seen the return of bidding wars. Now, I have a lot to say about bidding wars and this bidding frenzy and all of that. For the most part, what's happening, to be very honest with you, is not necessarily that a home that's listed for the average market price and is attracting tons of offers above that price. No, what's happening, what we're seeing in the market is that sellers and their agents are choosing a strategy which is listing below market value and then holding an offer date which attracts multiple offers. Now, because of the RECO rules, we actually can't know the content of the offers. So we don't know how many of those offers were like BS offers, right? For example, let me just illustrate this quickly. If a house or a condo or a property is worth around $650,000, and a seller chooses to list that for $599 or for $499, we know that that's not going to sell for $499. We know that it's not going to sell for $599 because the average price of that type of property in that neighborhood is and should be around $650, right? So when you hold an offer date with a price like a listing price of $499 or $599, what you're attracting is tons of buyers that are actually offering in the $499 to $599 range, so something in the 500s. But even if 80% of the offers received on offer night are those kind of offers, it doesn't matter because none of those would have been viable offers anyway. For example, if a house that a seller expected to sell for $650, if they had listed it for, $649 or $655 or something around there, any buyer putting in a $500,000 offer or a $520 offer or a $560 offer wouldn't even be considered, right? And so that's kind of skews the statistics when we look at properties that are listed under market value for a $499 or a $599 when they're actually worth more than that. And we know this, right? The seller knows this, the seller's agent knows this, the buyers usually know it, and the buyer's agent knows it or should know it based on comparable market stats. But when we have this situation where sellers are choosing to underlist their properties just to attract offers, for me, that's not a great metric, right? If an offer night attracts, let's say 25 offers, right? 19 of them could have been garbage offers in the 500s that wouldn't have been considered anyway, because that's not the market value of that property. It's not even in the realm of the market value of that property, right? Maybe only 6 offers out of the 25 were, 640, 650, 620, 630 that could have actually been considered. And so for me, when we see that stuff reported in the news and agents talking about it on social media, XYZ listing attracted 20 offers, 40 offers, 50 offers, it doesn't mean anything. What I would like to see is a house that's listed at market value and still attracts multiple offers. That is a much better metric to measure how much actual interest is being generated with the buyers and how many qualified buyers are actually there trying to purchase that same property. That would be definitely a better metric. But we are seeing a lot of what I explained happening. Sellers choose to do this. Sometimes agents choose to do this as a list price strategy under listing. As you know, I'm not a fan of it. I've spoken about it before, but sometimes my sellers also want to do that. Again, it's the seller's decision at the end of the day. All I can do is provide advice, but it's a seller's decision at the end of the day. So based on that strategy, which is prevailing in the spring market that we're seeing in the GTA right now, the average sale price was above the average list price for the first time since May 2022. GTA Realtors reported 6,896 sales through TRREB's MLS system in March 2023, which was down 36.5% compared to March 2022. Interestingly, sales are down almost 40%, which is wild. If we look at the average price numbers, they're also down, not as much, but still down. Now I'm going to go into the breakdown for a moment in terms of the detached, semi-detached, townhouse, and condo apartment segments. So detached homes in the GTA, a total of 3,000 sales occurred in the month of March with an average price point of 1.468 million. The number of sales was down 37.8%, and the average price was down 13.5% from last year. This is just for detached homes. Moving on to semi-detached. There were 556 semi-detached sales in the GTA with an average selling price of 1.087 million. The units sold were down 43.2% from last year, and the average price was down 17.4% from last year. Moving on to townhomes, there were 1,167 townhomes sold in March 2023 with an average sale price of 935,000. The number of units sold was down 36.1% from last year, and the average price was also down 14% from last year. Moving on to condo apartments, there was 2,121 condo apartments sold in March 2023 with an average selling price of 704,000. The number of units of condos sold was also down 32.5% from last year, and the average price of condos sold in March was also down 13% from last year. Now, right across the board, we are seeing March 2023 year over year over March 2022. We're seeing that volumes of all home types was down, and the average sales price of all home types was also down. If we look at it on in terms of all home sales and not breaking it down by specific home types. In terms of all sales this month, as I mentioned, we had 6,896 sales. Last March, it was over 10,000. So that was a drop of 36.5%. In terms of new listings, we've had less new listings this year. As I've mentioned before, I talk about it all the time. In the GTA, we have an inventory crunch. We don't have enough inventory to serve the demand. For example, last March in 2022, there were over 20,000 listings, new listings in March. This year, however, in March, there was just over 11,000 listings, which is down 44% if we look at in terms of new listings coming onto the market. So definitely perpetuating that inventory crunch, which creates competition. You know, same situation as always, more buyers going after less inventory creates competition, creates rising prices, etc., etc. If we look at the average selling price across all home types, last year we were somewhere just shy of 1.3 million for all home types, and this year we're just over 1.1 million, which is a drop overall in the average selling price in the GTA, a drop of 14.6%. I hope that these stats were helpful for you to get an idea of what's going on in the market. If you have any specific questions about what's happening in your market area, for example, your city or your specific home type or your neighborhood, feel free to send me a DM. All my contact information is in the box below, and I would be more than happy to help you out. If you have any other questions about real estate, feel free to reach out, and make sure that you like this video and subscribe to my channel because I do post new and informative real estate videos every single week. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video, and I'll see you on the next one.